Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I wanted to thank you guys first of all for coming back and watching one of my videos. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I am going to share with you a book that I read, Rich Dad, Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I read this book originally a long time ago. But I have been recently going back through it and just refreshing my memory on some of the things. I originally got it because I was wanting to start a path of creating wealth for myself, for my family that I could leave, for my kids. And so, a book that I continuously heard about was this book, Rich Dad Poor Dad. And so, I went to um, the bookstore. Like I said, it's been a while. So, I went to the bookstore, bought the book, and I found it to be very interesting. So, it was a good buy. Um, some of the key takeaways for me from this book was just changing my mindset on how I thought about money and wealth. Um, at the time, I didn't have like a lot of money in a 401k or access to money. So I had to really make sure that I was getting out of it what I could begin to implement in my life. So for me, one of the key things that I took away from the book, like I said, was my mindset about money, but also my mindset behind uh, working, job and my career path. So if you are of a certain age or your parents are of a certain age, I think it's always been said to find a job, a good job, work that job, save money, put in your 401k, and then maybe one day, you know, 20, 30 years down the road, you'll have money that you can retire on or whatever. So I had already been in the workforce for a while when I read this book. So I did not want to continue on in that path of just endlessly working with no clear direction on how I was going to do more than just work a job. And so I started to frame the way I thought about working as like I was a contract worker, right? I was contracting my services out to my employer, and I was only going to be in those contracts is for as long as it benefited me. So, I always would kind of go into it as like a 5-year contract between me and whoever I was employed with. And during that time frame, if I could not, progress as far as, promotions, if I couldn't, get the pay ranges that I wanted or just benefits in general, then I would move on. And so I'm not ashamed to say that in my lifetime, I've worked for multiple companies because I never wanted to be stagnant in a position where I was not progressing. I was not getting promoted. I was not making the type of money that I wanted to make. There was no work life balance. And so I just moved on. So I think that was a really valuable thing because I could have gotten stuck in a lot of dead end jobs, right? Just because I was raised with the mentality to think that I would get a good job, work it for 20 or 30, maybe even 40 years, invest, save, and wish or hope that at the end of that time I had enough to retire with some type of dignity. So I would have to say this book was really valuable in changing my mindset. And so I think for nothing or for no other reason than to change the way you think about how you approach your work life, there's a lot of value in obtaining this book and reading it. Um, I will have to say that I have recently gone through a lot of different changes. I guess, like everyone else, COVID kind of jumpstart maybe a lot of things that we have been putting to the backside. And so maybe like in, I'm going to say like 2019, like right at the end of 2019, going into 2020, I decided that I had, I had a good run. I worked for a lot of companies. I worked on my craft, which at the time was like retail business management. I had gotten a lot of experience. I had gotten to hold a lot of different positions. Um, and so I was like, okay, like it's time for the next part of that. So the promotions, making pretty decent, getting pretty decent raises. And then when I would move on, getting $4,000 or $5,000, jumps in pay. So I said in 2020, my 5-year plan would be to retire. Um, and so I just started to try to set forth a path on how I was going to do that. So, of course, COVID hit and set me back a few years. um, and so I'm kind of like rushing now because it's 2023, almost 2024. So I have like a year and a half left. And Lord knows I would love to do it sooner than that if possible. But yeah, so I'm trying to be on that path. I wanted to also make sure that I made a good point out of the fact about changing your mindset. Like, I'm very grateful to the younger generation. You guys are like just exceptional in the way you see yourselves. Once again, myself being over 50, I was not raised in an environment where you didn't think about not having a job, right? It was always go to school, uh, go to college if possible, um, get a good job, and stay at that job. I thought I was just like doing so much more than, the one, my mom's generation, because I was like, well, I'm not going to work one job forever if I can't get, this, that, and the other. And so I was fortunate to not stay stagnant in one particular job. So with that, once again, came good promotions, good raises, but I still had the mentality of needing to work a job. And so kudos for you guys out there that have been doing all these amazing things, with social media, branding, creating your own brands, working for yourselves. I applaud you. And with that also, I learning from you guys. So with COVID came being on social media. So hey, thank you guys for giving me the courage to even think about starting a channel. That would have been nothing that I would have thought of. As a matter of fact, my oldest son always teases me because when he was younger and he was really into video games, and that was something that he said he would do when he got older, was be someone that played video games for a living. And I was like, boy, you cannot make a living playing video games. But I wish I could take that back, and I wish I would have let him pursue that, because I know gamers and gaming is one of the biggest revenue generators, on social media. So, but, with that being said, I learned and adjusted. So here I am on social media. So I do applaud you guys, and I would say keep it up, keep going. There's a lot of value in valuing yourself and what you know you can do and what you know you're worth. And you guys are doing it at a young age. And I am grateful for my path, my children. But I wish that was something that I would have discovered, 20 years ago. But it's always best to learn and put that to work than to just wish you would have done it. So once again, that's why I am here sitting on this camera talking to you guys. So once again, the book is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I am intending to make a few more videos because I want to say, with the path of reading this book, changing my mindset, there was also another book that I wanted to call out and bring to you guys' attention, because reading it with the mindset that I grew from reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, it also helped me in my progression and my 5-year plan to retire. But I will say that I had like 5 bullet points that I wanted to work on that was going to help me get to my early retirement. The first one was real estate investing. The second one was investing in the stock market. The third one was creating a business, or as you guys say, side hustle. The fourth one was social media. And the last one was I was going to do all these things, right, while continuing to work and generate my salary, or continue with my salary to help fund the other 4 so that I could get to early retirement. So my next video, I will get a little bit more in detail on my plan and what I've done, as well as show you or tell you how I started a few side hustles that have started to generate a little bit of money. And hopefully I can continue on with those things, and they will ultimately become my sole income. So, yeah. Once again, I'd like to say thank you to all you creators out there who have encouraged me at my age to, jump on social media and share my experiences and continue to learn from you guys. So thank you. And once again, the book is Rich Dad Poor Dad. I encourage you to go out and read it if you have not. It really was a good read, and it really did impact my life. So once again, as always, thank you guys for looking at my videos, and hope everything is well with you all out there. Goodbye.